There's only one possible reason for that. It's a thought I can't stomach. After checking all around the campus, I finished my search on the roof. It's thoroughly dark outside now. The school gates shut at 6 p.m. and it's now 8 p.m. Archer and I are the only ones left, and Archer's in his spirit form.
That makes the 7th one. Looks like this is the origin point.
There are 8 symbols boldly drawn on the rooftop. They're purplish red marks that only a mage can see. Never seen or heard of sigils like these.
Well, they've got me there. I don't know what to do about this.
Whoever set up this bounded field did it recklessly. While imprudent, the magical working itself is an order of magnitude beyond my own skills. I could temporarily erase the energy of the curse, but I have no way to dispel the bounded field itself. All the spellcaster needs to do is supply it with more energy to reactivate the curse's effects. That was weird and hurt. Oh. Archer doesn't comment. He's probably remained silent since encountering the rooftop sigils. He's probably remained silent since encountering the rooftop sigils because he too has realized their nature. This bounded field does more than drain its victim's stamina. It will literally melt everyone inside once it's turned on. Oh. There are bounded fields which rob victims of their life force and spiritual energy, but the spell that's been applied to the school grounds is on a whole different level. There is no less than a soul eater. This is no less than a soul eater, a blood fort which melts the human bodies inside it and forcibly collects the souls that ooze out. Since antiquity, souls have always been difficult to handle. They're theorized to exist and are considered to be necessary components of magecraft, but only one mage has ever proven their existence. Our definition of souls stops at that which examines within and that which is transferred between vessels. To not only extract souls, but then capture them in one place, it defies comprehension. What's a mage supposed to do with a bunch of energy we can't even convert? So if I had to think of a purpose for it...
Archer, is that what you and your kind are?
Comes out colder than I intended. So they're summoning a big servant that needs a lot of food. You surmised correctly. I did say that we are fundamentally spiritual beings. That means we feed on the second and third factors, the soul and the mind. Just as you sustain yourself with the flesh of creatures, we servants derive nutrition from the mind and soul. Earl said nutrition doesn't change our base abilities, acquiring more of it does make us more durable. It increases our reserve of magical energy, in other words. He's right. The way to make your own servant stronger is to indiscriminately attack human beings.
So your own master's magical energy isn't enough.
It's sufficient, but it never hurts to have more. In war, some weaknesses can be compensated with material when one is lacking in fighting strength. It's a basic strategy for a master to take energy from the humans around them. In that sense, this bounded field is an efficient tactic. Archer's saying that I should murder people and take their power if I want to win. So simple. I've always known this to be true. And I know it's the path I'm supposed to walk.
That really teased me off. Don't ever bring it up again, Archer.
Staring at the sigils, I make my stance clear. Oddly, Archer sounds just as put off. Yeah, he's a knight. I agree. I'd never do such a thing. His answer comes firm and resolute. He's clarified. He's a knight. He's
それじゃ消そうか。
got
無駄
morals
だろ
and
うけど、
things.
とりあえず邪魔をするぐらいにはなる。
Time to erase this then. It won't do much good, but I can at least slow it down.
Approach the sigil and extend my left hand. One, I don't think it'd be that easy. Two, even if you did, then someone's clearly gonna know. It's gonna tip them off. Magic crest engraved on my arm is like a grimoire passed down through the Tosaka line. Mental switch is flicked. Pass magical energy through the magic crest, load a Versa-bounded field erasure. Take a deep breath and activate it.
Abzug. Bidanung. Mittelstand.
Erase surgical removal, verse 2. Then send a pulse of magical energy via my left hand. That should wash away the sigil for now.
なんだよ、消しちまうのか？もったいね
What, you're gonna erase it? What a waste. Suddenly, third voice chimes in while I'm casting the spell. I can't remember that voice, but I have a suspicion. I whirl around. What? Oh, never mind. Oh. Oh, no. A man is perched on top of the water tower, some 10 meters above, looking down at me. He's clad in deep blue that blends into the night. His mouth is drawn into a grin, and he has a bestial air about him. The beast's gaze is sharp and clear. In this bizarre situation, the man in blue watches me as if he's greeting a friend he hasn't seen in a decade.
これ、あなたの仕業。
Did you do
え。
this?
いや、小細工を浪するのは魔術師の役割だ。俺たちはただ命じられたまま戦うのみ。だろ？そこの兄さんよ。
No, it's a mage's job to play little tricks. We just fight whomever we're ordered to. Isn't that right, mate? His tone is lethal yet carefree. This man can see Archer.
やっぱり、サーバント。
You're a servant.
そうとも。ね。それがわかるお嬢ちゃんは俺の敵ってことでいいの
Do an Irish accent. That I am, and if you know that last... No, no. That I am, and if you know that last, you must be my enemy. My spine tenses. The man's voice is detached and nonchalant, but it's colder than anyone I've ever heard, so scary it's nauseating. What's the best move here? I don't know. But my brain is still working enough to tell me that I absolutely must not fight him.
ほう、大したもんだ。
Hole.
何もわからねえようで要点は抑えてやがれ。
Oh, I'm impressed. Here I was thinking you don't know heads from tails, but you figured out what really counts.
ああ、失敗したなこりゃ。面白がって声をかけるんじゃなかったぜ。
Oh, I blew that. Shouldn't have gone out of my way to taunt you. The man raises an arm. Appears in a flash. His once empty hand now holds... Oh! Scarlet 2-meter long weapon. My legs throw me to the side before I can think. There's no time to even hesitate about jumping off the roof. With all my might, I made a mad dash for the fence, intending to barrel right through it. The cyclone lifts my hair into the air. It was by the skin of my teeth. That instant, something slices through the space I was just in, tearing the fence apart with it.
いい足してるな、お嬢ちゃん。
You've got a nice pair of legs on you. The whirlwind pursues me. There's no way out. The fence is behind me, my flanks are cut off. I won't make it.
Light mass heavy pressure!
React swiftly. My magic crest surges to life so I can weave a single count magecraft. Spell lines mass and manipulates gravity. Light as a feather, my body bounds into the air.
I know I got this!
I jump over the fence to plummet off the roof. Air resistance and gravity push and pull along my body. About 15 meters to the ground, 1.7 seconds away, too slow. He's gonna catch up to me!
Sight percept! The funeral returns to the earth. Fox got this Atlas. Archer, handle the landing!
I let Archer absorb the shock of the landing and break into a dash as soon as we touched down. Couldn't stay on that rooftop. We need a less cramped arena from which to maneuver freely. Battlefield without obstacles where Archer and I can truly shine. Takes me less than 7 seconds to escape from the roof to the schoolyard. This distance over 100 meters cross at a pace no normal person can manage, much less clearly see. Yet.
いや、本気でいい足だ。ここで仕留めるのはいささかもったいなさすぎるか。
You really do have good legs. I almost feel bad about having to kill you here. Again, a servant. It's wasted effort. At the same time I draw back, Archer materializes before me. It's a cloudy night. Archer's hand grips a short sword that faintly reflects the moonlight. Oh. The man's lips twist into an ominous sneer.
いいね。そう来なくっちゃ。話が早いやつは嫌いじゃない。
Yeah, that's how this ought to be. I can't say I hate guys like you who are quick on the uptake.
The whirlwind howls. It's the weapon he swung at me on the rooftop, a spear of blood like crimson that came mercilessly for my head.
ランサーのサーバント。
A lancer.
いかにも。そういうあんたのサーバントはセイバー。
But wait, you didn't hear her say Archer?
That's me. That must make your servant a saber.
って感じじゃねえな。何者だ、てめえ。
Nah, he doesn't feel like one. Who the hell are you? Gone is his carefree ease from a moment ago. Yeah, he's serious and scared. Just stay silent, facing off against the Lancers, unconcealed bloodlust. Just under 5 meters between them. Lancer's weapon is nearly 2 meters long. Does it feel like this beast of a man is going to be deterred by a mere 3-meter difference?
まっとうな一騎打ちをするタイプじゃねえな、てめえは。ってことは、アーチャーか。
I can tell you're not the type to settle things man to man. That must make you Archer.
Archer doesn't take the bait. An unusual clash of blue and red stare each other down. The two knights, somewhat similarly dressed, mutually calculate the other's demise.
いいぜ。好みじゃねえが、出会ったからにはやるだけだ。そら、獲物を出せよ、アーチャー。
Alright, all that's left is to throw down. Draw your bow,
こ
Archer.
れでも礼はわきまえているからな。それぐらいは待ってやる。
Not how I usually do this, but I'm polite enough to wait that long.
Archer doesn't answer. His back as steely as a sword seems to convey that. He must not have anything to say to someone he must defeat. That's when I realize it. I'm such a fool. Archer was waiting for my word!
アーチャー、
I call out to him without getting any closer.
手助けはしないわ。あなたの力、ここで見せて。
Don't hold anything back. Show me everything you've got.
Was that a laugh? The Red Knight surges forward, his lips curled in response. Wind swirls! The scarlet bullet flies forth, blade in hand.
Fool!
Blue's spear thrust intercepts him. The charging archer is a gust of wind, and the spear tip that rises to meet him is a divine storm. Streaking blades, elegant parries. Archers put on the defensive, fending off the swift thrusts with his short sword. The man in red is stopped in his tracks. His advance denied by the enemy. He can't even breach the 2-meter coverage of the spear. A polearm wielder can control his opponent's range. Lancer with his nearly 2-meter reach needs to simply engage his foe whenever he comes within range. It's easier for him to stand an advancing opponent than it is for him to go after Archer himself. Despite this, Lancer closes the distance himself to press the attack, all the while keeping Archer from advancing further. You're a damn fool of a bowman trying to challenge me in close combat. Lancer's snarl is fiery with each thrust. Lancer closes in, the assault never letting up for a second. Moving in too close is suicide for a spear wielder. The advantage of a spear is the ability to control the enemy's position. Lancer shouldn't have a chance if he keeps closing in. No way. Oh, whoops.
No way!
That's only according to conventional wisdom. Unerringly, unceasingly, Lancer's spear seeks to pierce Archer's throat, shoulder, forehead, heart. The strikes are too swift to even leave an after image. Archer is forced to parry, block, or evade every move of the spear. Any strike, if true, would be a mortal blow. Still, Archer is a servant, even if he specializes with the bow. He won't be brought down so easily by mundane attacks. The thrust at his forehead is quickly batted aside. And Archer renews his charge in spite of a Lancer's spear. You might think that swordplay is all there is to Archer's attack, but he's exploiting a weakness of spear tactics. Against the spear's considerable reach, neither retreat nor evasion are viable defenses for long. A half-hearted withdrawal isn't enough to get out of range, while probing attacks will lead to evisceration. A reckless charge will similarly end in impalement at the edge of the spear's range. Archer and Lancer have more or less the same physical stature. Without heavy armor, it's difficult for Archer to penetrate the lethal storm of Lancer's attack radius. But Lancer's strikes are a different story. The high-speed thrusts, intended to pierce vital points, are indeed terrifying, but each strike has a set trajectory and target. If one can predict these, there are ways to avoid them. Harm. Just as Archer is doing! One can block the strikes aimed at vital points, or just barely evade their arc to create safe openings. Lancer probably underestimated him as a ranged specialist. The advantage of a long weapon is the generous range at which one can engage the opponent. By giving that up, Lancer has assured his... Man in red stops in his tracks. I watch a nightmare unfold. As if time is rewinded. Lancer's attacks become even faster than before. Archer's short sword is knocked aside. As he twists to avoid being skewered, Lancer's spear doesn't allow retreat. Or rather, his endless attacks are so fierce and sharp that even servants are doomed against them! We were the ones who underestimated our enemy. That servant, that Lancer and his spear can't be described in mundane martial terms. Who could possibly survive such a relentless barrage? Archer beats a desperate retreat, while parrying strikes, creating slightly more distance between the fighters. In that moment, Lancer steps into the gap and unleashes an even more ferocious attack. The storm of attacks is a little different from what he's already been doing, but their execution is truly godlike. They've already clashed 10 times. No, it's actually several times more than that. The torrent of spear strikes increases again in intensity and number, threatening to take Archer's life 1,000 times over. It isn't even a change in speed, but in precision. At a steady pace, Lancer's spear comes down on Archer like a waterfall. Can Archer get inside his guard? With such a short weapon, all he can do is defend against the spear! He has no way to close in on Lancer. In fact, he's been being forced backwards. The steel vacuum stretches out. I should be backing Archer up, but the right words die in my throat. My magecraft isn't easy to aim precisely. Risk hitting Archer too if he can get far enough away from Lancer. Meanwhile, Lancer's advantage will only deepen. To be honest, I'm captivated by their duel. So this is a battle between servants. Holy Grail War is a battle between familiars of the highest order, heroic spirits, beings that we mages can't even begin to approach. Servants. Familiars divided among 7 classes and roles, serving 7 masters. Supreme familiars called forth by the Holy Grail itself. Familiar. This is really a misnomer for them. Familiars are supposed to be subservient minions who act on behalf of a mage. Normally you'd imagine something like... Wait, what? You'd imagine something like Puss in Boots, an elegant white bird, or a disobedient black dog, something like that. Why Puss in... What? Those sorts of familiars are what a typical mage can manage to command. What the fuck? He could have just said a cat. Why specifically Puss in Boots? What? Could Puss in Boots be a servant? It is based on a fairy tale. It's weird, isn't it? It's a little weird. What? Okay. Those sorts of familiars are what a typical mage can manage to command. Familiars are just that, from the Latin for a menial servant. It's inconceivable that a mascot used for menial labor would be stronger than its master. You know, I've always wondered that too. They're clearly leagues stronger than a master, so how can you call them familiars? Servants are a different story. They're quite literally the most powerful examples of humanity. Why call them servants too? Clearly. Especially when you got some that are rebellious and will easily kill their master or other things. What now? I didn't say anything. No, wait, no. There's no. No, I didn't say none. No. Even the 5 magicians wouldn't be able to control them. What? 5 magicians would. It's difficult to summon a servant, but not because servants are more powerful than mages. Servants are beings that surpass magecraft itself. Saber! To be clear, servants are heroes of the past. Myths, legends, fables, histories. Puss in Boots would fall under fable. We call the glorious superhumans from our traditions heroes, whether the tales are true or not. Immortalized by what humanity says about them, they cease to be merely human after death and ascend to something greater. People who work miracles, who save the multitudes, who accomplish great feats, are elevated to the status of heroes either in life or after death. They become a type of elemental we call heroic spirits. That's a little bit of a better comparison, like a golem or elemental. Okay. Guardians of the human race. Doesn't matter whether they were historical people or characters from mythology. Heroes are created by the thoughts of the people. We imagine them as the idols we wish they were and treat them as if they were real. Objective truth is irrelevant. Fame and faith are sufficient to give form to these legends. And none are more true of that than Heracles or Sherlock Holmes or King Arthur. Especially Arthur, who it's been heavily debated. It's like 50-50. Was he real? Was he not? Was he someone else? Was he this guy? Fame and faith are sufficient to give form to these legends. They're humanity's ultimate ideals, the greatest among us. That's what it means to be a hero and a heroic spirit. Naturally, it's impossible for a mere human to control something greater than human. What mages usually do is borrow a portion of their power and imitate their feats. Summoning a complete heroic spirit is simply impossible. Really? Oh, okay. Yet the Holy Grail makes it possible. I was gonna say, I know that's true of, like, gods. Like, why? Ereshkigal, and Ishtar, and... I was gonna go Greek, but they didn't have, in Grand Order, they didn't have hosts. Quetzalcoatl was, yeah, they possess humans. Durga, that other one. They possess humans because not their entire beings can't be summoned. Yet the Holy Grail makes it possible. It allows us to summon these spirits in the flesh and even bind them to our command. The sheer absurdity of it proves the Grail's omnipotence. That's how heroic spirits are summoned from across time, whether from the age of gods or as recent as a century ago. The 7 heroic spirits serve and protect their 7 masters, and each master sends their servants out to defeat enemy masters. It's a deathmatch between heroes of every age and every land. That's the story behind the ritual we call the Holy Grail War. Of course, there are limits to what the Grail can do. Even the Holy Grail can't indiscriminately summon mythic beings akin to elementals. Just as a form created by the people is required to materialize the 6 theoretical factors known as demons. Six theoretical factors. What? I'm sorry, what? Heroic spirits need a material to form to operate in this world. What? Demons, what? 6 theoretical factors. What does that mean? What? Wait, what? If there are demons servants, do they mean the beasts, maybe? This is their temporary label and the way they're allowed to exist in this world. The Holy Grail provides vessels that heroic spirits can easily materialize in, called classes, and only heroic spirits that fit these classes can be summoned. Classes like a passport that lets a heroic spirit visit the modern era to act as a familiar. It's a material vessel that they temporarily possess. There are 7 masters and 7 heroic spirits to serve them. Each is assigned one of the 7 classes. Saber, the Knight of the Sword. Lancer, the Knight of the Spear. Archer, the Knight of the Bow. Interesting. It's a woman. I didn't know that on the card. Okay. Yeah, Artemis. Rider, the Cavalier. Caster, the Mage. Why are 3 of them knights and the other 3 aren't? Or at least have some sort of similar theme. Assassin, the Silent Killer. I mean, the other 2, all 4 of them kind of serve as different RPG roles too. You got your knights, paladins, and stuff. You got mages, and then you got assassins. It's 3. Cavaliers kind of fit into the knight role, sort of. They just end up, yeah. Then Berserker, the Mad Warrior. And then Berserkers are Berserkers. High HP, stupid high attack, but low defenses and speed. Only heroic spirits with attributes, they're double-edged swords. Only heroic spirits with attributes corresponding to the 7 classes can be summoned to the modern world, and they become servants whom the masters command. That's the servant system. Humans summon and make contracts with the heroic spirits beyond our ability to handle all, in hopes of winning a miracle beyond our ken. It's the greatest of battles that can only happen here in this land, like no other Holy Grail war. The duel reaches an even higher pitch. The short sword goes flying from Archer's hand after blocking one of Lancer's strikes. Lancer's skill is consummate. A seemingly straight thrust suddenly whipped into a disarming arc at Archer's wrist. It's an attack that Archer couldn't have avoided even if he saw it coming.